some kudos. We've got some good ones. Not that we don't always have good ones. You guys are always doing good work. This one is West Fargo Pioneer page from Paula. It's not true that it's from Paula?
No, it's not true. I don't think she broke the record.
Oh. Okay, so we're not sure if this person actually broke a record, but at some point we were apparently told that, and Paula made a nice page about it. Ooh. Tanner. Nice Mount Everest page. It's nice, I like it. Good work, Tanner. Let's see. There's also Tanner. Ooh, in the middle, with the people in the middle. Get it? I like it. That's fun play. I bet people really enjoyed seeing that on the newsstand. Let's see. Oh. If you guys saw this one Paula did for the Forms Variety page, but she took some kind of bland photos of Guy makes drinks and drinks Guy makes. Added kind of a fun background to make it a jazzier page. And this, Paula didn't do this part, but I just really appreciate that this guy, I don't know if you can tell on your screen, but his tattoo sleeves match his short sleeve shirt. Oh, wow. So if you just look at this page from a distance, it just looks like he has a long sleeve shirt on. And I just admire his foresight in matching his outfit the day of his photo shoot. But good work, Paula, on this page as well.
Do you know where she got the background patterns and that sort of thing?
I do not. We will have to ask her about that when we see her again. And I imagine she just did a gradient on these lines to do that, but I'm not sure about the background. Because this could just be a gradient, but I wonder if maybe she didn't Google something to get that. We'll have to ask her about that. So, Megan D did this one. Gnome Sweet Home. It's a nice way to jazz up some photos of gnomes. It's cute, Megan. Megan M did this one. You guys may have seen that she won the hubby this week for her work on the... Yeah, did you not see the email on that?
I did not.
Congratulations, Megan, you won the hubby.
Thank you. What did I win for?
For your work on the marathon section. Megan did this whole section, including she came up with this logo for it and everything. So
yay.
She did some very nice work on that. Brandon did this nice page for the Duluth Memorial Day, which is probably the best headline we had all week, because I know it stopped me and made me read the story. A good life, except for all the sadness. Did Dave do this one nice with a little black and white photo? And last but not least, Cole got fun with some pole vaulting. Just a way to make the guy look like he's jumping over the letters. So, solid work there. Nothing does that. Okay. What I wanted to talk to you guys about today, Erin had mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but is the Photoshop actions that Hayden had put together and sent out a while ago. It seems that not everyone is using them, and using them will just make your life that much easier. So I'm going to email them out again after this meeting, so if you don't have them already, you can have them. And then I will show you how they work. You can just drag them into your Photoshop, and they should just upload for you. And you should be able to go to your Windows section and... Okay, give me a second because I forgot to grab a photo for this first. That's black and white. Okay, so Sorry, I promise I know how to work a mouse. This one's just very different size than the one on my desk. It's a problem for me today. So, for your auto actions, it's black and white photo or CMYK photo. So all you have to do is bring up this actions menu, which is under Windows, click CMYK photo, and press this play button down here, and it will automatically tone the photo and unsharp mask, all that stuff, and change it to CMYK. So literally you have to open a photo, press that button, pick which one of these properties you're going to save it to. So let's say this is for the budgeteer. Press save, and then it changes it to a TIFF and saves it in the budgeteer folder. So to do photos, all you need to do now is click two buttons. Are there questions on that?
You could use set shortcuts on it too, as I've done.
Is that keyboard shortcuts on it?
Yeah, like
Oh.
when you double click on it. Oh, not that. Go to the right one. There you go. Then you can like go to function key.
Oh.
That's cool.
Okay, well, Mindy just made it even easier for us, you guys. Double click on the side of it and then do a function key. So you can set up a function key for color, black and white, and then for the properties that you most often do pages for. Then you don't even actually have to click anything. You can just hit a key on your keyboard. That's even faster. Excellent. The one other thing I wanted to show with the, let's see if I can find a color photo. Okay, let's find an actual photo. It's probably easier to show this on. Okay. With black and white photos, sometimes this level thing is going to wash them out when they do the auto levels. The easiest way that I found to fix them is do Control L to bring up your levels menu, and then just bring each of your side sliders in and then move your center one up, because that, I don't know if you can see this, it kind of ups the contrast on everything. So some photos it doesn't exactly make them look better, but in a lot of cases that's going to help your stuff stand out more and prevent the way that some of the black and white photos end up looking really washed out. So if you run the automatic script on a black and white photo and it looks washed out, then just go ahead and do this. Does anybody have any questions on any of that? Okay. So. Okay. Just had a couple of other things that I wanted to go over with you guys. I think you all should have gotten Steph Crawford's email asking that you just go through and double check all of your pages at about 4:30 and just make sure that you're not missing ad verification for anything, so that way if you are, we can get it dealt with early in the night rather than trying to figure it out, you know, an hour before deadline or something. Any questions on that?
Still think we're going to do ad verification
If
still need it, so how would we?
Yeah, if you've already sent a page and it's in the approval queue, then you don't have to worry about it, because somebody else should be checking that. But like at night, a lot of the times, we're discovering at like 8:30 that there was a page that wasn't verified during the day. So we just need to make sure that we check all those pages earlier in the day. You guys may have noticed in page track that now you have, if you're assigned pages that are due multiple days, there's a line in page track now. So it'll show like, these are all your pages that are due tonight. There'll be a line, and it'll show you pages that are due for other days.
Okay.
We put that in just to make it easier for you guys to see at a glance what things are, and so that if it's 10:30 and I start assigning out pages for tomorrow night's work, there's a line in there so you don't all of a sudden think, oh crap, Alicia just gave me 8 pages that I have to get done tonight. I hate her. Just to make it a little clearer of when things are due to help you prioritize more. They should still be appearing in your queue in deadline order, but just an added. So if you see that line in there, you know what that's about. Got a request from a couple of papers that if you've got a decent sized space left over on a page, instead of throwing a large plug ad in, check with them if they have a brief or something that they'd like you to put in that space. You can just put a message in HipChat and say, you know, I've got about 10 inches left on this page. Would you like me to put a plug ad there, or would you like something? Obviously that doesn't apply if it's you know, a sports page and there's 3 minutes until deadline, you know, just do what you gotta do to get the page out. But especially with the weeklies, ask before you put in a large plug ad. Worthington, as you guys know, changes this week from a daily paper to a twice weekly. As part of that, their brand has changed from the Daily Globe to just the Globe. So if you're doing any of those pages, please make sure that your photo credits, all that stuff, none of it is reflecting Daily Globe, but it should just say Globe. And then, Roberta, correct me if I'm wrong, but this week, all pages for the Globe go to editor proofing instead of through our regular proofing.
I get an email that said
Roberta?
just a day.
Yeah, just for this first one,
Yeah.
which prints up on Saturday.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, okay. So any Globe pages that you guys do this week, instead of sending to proofers the way you normally would, send it through to editor proofing, and then you might get back with the editor, from the editor with some changes. And then next week we'll be back to normal with everything just going to our proofing system. Any questions on that? Okay, and then just one other thing that I wanted to let you guys know, I will send out an email on this later, but we are going to change our deadlines just a little bit because we've had a couple of issues where the page designer was like, everything was out on time, but the pages weren't actually sent on time because of the time needed to proof them. So what we're asking is that all of you have your pages sent to the proofer 5 minutes before the actual page deadline. So if the page deadline is 11, please have all your pages sent to proofing by 10:55. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions on that?
Is 5 minutes enough time?
Especially with sports.
So,
Well, and A1s and that sort of thing too. Can get
So-
hairy.
well, we're hoping, but right now we're not even getting 5 minutes to the proofers a lot of
Sure.
the time. So we're gonna try 5 minutes and see how that works. Ideally, yes, you'd be having your pages done considerably more than 5 minutes before the
Yeah.
deadline, but
Usually like write a note in the room, that's like,
Mhm.
Yep.
last
Yeah.
11 minutes.
yes.
Sometimes I feel like.
Yeah. And you guys all know that there's an FCC copy desk room in HipChat. If you don't know that, you can log into that room too and just do an @ here to make sure you get all the proofers in case they're not all logged into the individual paper room. Especially with a lot of the weeklies, I don't think they're probably during the day logged into all those weekly rooms just because it's a lot to keep track of. So if you don't get an answer, or if you just want to make sure you get them in the first place, go ahead and go into what's called FCC Copy Desk in HipChat. Any questions on that? Anything else?
Hey, this is Carol in Wilmer.
Hey, Carol.
I just wanted to mention that the West Central Tribune is using court script on some of its calendar. It didn't do that in the past, so just keep an eye out on the budget for that.
Okay, so it'll be noted on the budget.
Yep.
Okay, so if you guys didn't hear, she said that Wilmer, the West Central Tribune, is going to use court script on some of their calendars to save some space. So just make sure you're checking the budget. If it has a script note, they'll tell you on there what script they want run. So, thank you, Carol. Anybody have anything else? All right, well, thank you all for your work. Get back to it.